you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys why I'm not ashamed of being in a fandom and why I don't hate fandoms. So any artist nowadays that has any type of following has a fandom, whether that be the 21 Pilots fandom, the Fall Out Boy fandom, and it's not just alternative pop punk types of music. You know, there's the Demi Lovato fandom and the Justin Bieber fandom, the Ariana Grande fandom. Like, there's just a whole lot of fandoms out there. This day and age, it is very, very, very unpopular and looked down upon if you belong to a fandom. And I know, especially like in the YouTube music community, they're very, very, very looked negatively on, and people have made videos about it. You know, obviously people can hate fandoms if they want to. They can do whatever they want. But I'm going to tell you guys why I don't hate fandoms. I might be one of the only creators that will actually be willing to come out and talk about it. Why I'm not ashamed to be in a fandom. Obviously, by my channel name, I am in the Fall Out Boy fandom. And I've been in the Fall Out Boy fandom since I was 13 years old. And I am 100% totally okay with that. I actually embrace it. As I'm talking, I'm just going to be inserting some different YouTube comments, maybe some Twitter comments that I find that kind of shows like the hostility that people have towards fandoms. And like, since I am in the Fall Out Boy fandom, I'll just use some Fall Out Boy examples. So fandoms, yeah, I can see both sides to the argument, honestly. So fandoms can be very hostile and they can be very mean, especially when they feel like, you know, that their band or their person, their singer, their performer is getting unnecessary hate. And this is the part that I can relate to, the unnecessary hate. You know, getting mad when a critic, you know, doesn't like something or somebody has a different opinion, that's a little intense. Like, you don't need to be sending death threats or like going after people just because they don't like something. Where I draw the line and where I can relate is when, you know, because I guess like if you're not in a fandom, you don't really understand what it's like, you know, for us. Like, you know, some people, like, here's some examples. Some people have obsessions with things. Like, some people, like, are obsessed with different TV shows. Some people are obsessed with, like, shopping or whatever. And it's their favorite thing to do in the entire world. You know, like, a lot of people have things that they love and that they love to do, that they enjoy doing. It could be literally anything. Like, some people, like, just YouTube in general. Like, people who love makeup make makeup videos. People who love amusement parks, you know, make roller coaster reviews, whatever. So, there's a certain type of people that their passion is music, and that they're going to a concert is like literally the best thing in their life and their most fun they could have. It makes them the most happy. And when you're in a music fandom and you love that performer or that artist, that is your happy place. You become the type of person that you're the type of person that just like being in the performer's presence just gives you joy that, you know, you can't even like really put into words. It's that love, it's that passion. It's very, being in a fandom isn't like rabid crazy like all the time. A lot of it is stemmed from passion and being, you know, into something. So when people, you know, I can see when people are like, yeah, fandoms are crazy and they're rabid and they're hostile and it just makes everything so vile. I can see that because some people take their passion to a different level and go after people, hate on people, you know, for having different opinions. And that's part of the fandom that I do not associate with.
So I also wanted to mention, I'm actually coming back to film because I forgot to mention a really integral part of video. I also wanted to mention that I am not part of the fandom that like, I'm not part of the fandom that harasses band members or artists, like shows up at their houses and does like creepy things like that, or like stalks them or talks about them sexually. Like, I know that is a part of the fandom, but that is not everybody, and that's really disturbing. So I just wanted to mention that. I just completely forgot to like even talk about it the first time I started filming. But yeah, that's weird, and that really needs to stop. In a way, that's not even part of the Fall Out Boy fan base I'm talking about. That's just creepy and weird. One other thing that I actually forgot to mention, I don't even know if I'm going to keep this in the video, but there's a couple YouTubers out there who started off, you know, being in the Fall Out Boy fandom, and then, you know, may have grown out of it or aren't as into Fall Out Boy as they used to be, and that doesn't really give us as fans the right to judge their new opinions. Like, I understand that a lot of people may have gotten into that person because they were, you know, big fans of Fall Out Boy or, you know, whatever, but, you know, people can change, people can do what they want, and just because they don't, you know, feel the same way about the band as they used to doesn't mean that they deserve a bunch of unnecessary hate, you know, if they're not as invested in the band. I don't know if that makes sense. I just wanted to mention that as well.
I see people saying that Fall Out Boy just needs to break up now. That's what kind of gets me going. I'm just like, are you kidding? Like, I've been a fan since before the hiatus. So, no, I don't want Fall Out Boy to break up. So it just kind of boils your blood a little bit when these people go after them. And I can see that. You know, I can totally see that. But I feel like, in a way, the exact same hostility and vileness and just anger is on the other side as well. And I don't understand why people feel the need to go after people in the fandom for being passionate. Like, I mean, if somebody's like, you know, tweeting about Fall Out Boy or Panic at the Disco or whatever, and then you have a bunch of people like, oh, you're just a fangirl, your opinions don't matter, you're just blinded by them. Like, that's the kind of stuff that gets under my skin more than the people who actually bash the band. It's like, why do you care what I'm doing? Like, especially if it's like my personal Twitter or like comments or my YouTube videos or whatever. It's like, get off my video. Like, I guess it all comes down to like how you word things. Like, there's been times where Ghostbusters, for an example, I'll see if I can find some of those comments because it's pretty bad. But as we all know, the Ghostbusters thing was a big flop for Fall Out Boy. Like, I didn't hate it. I didn't really love it either, but I went into their Vivo and decided to try and defend a little bit. I was very respectful the entire time, and I was getting hate after hate after hate after hate. And it's almost worse than the person actually bashing the band is when people bash the fan base. And then, like, a lot of times, like, myself and maybe other fans get roped into the hostile fans, and it's just a really big mess. A lot of the time, there's back and forth between people, like, hating on the fans and fans defending the band, and it honestly, like, I feel like it was so much easier back in the day when the internet, like, wasn't so, like it is now, and people could just go and hate on everything and get in fights on the internet, and it has really become this hostile thing, and it's sad because I feel like the part of the fan base that I love, the part of the fan base that just makes me so happy is when we're all at a concert together, or when you make friends at a concert. Two of my really good friends I made through Fall Out Boy, like, we went to four Mania tour shows together. First time we ever met, like, ever was for a Mania tour show. They stayed at my house. So I am thankful to be part of this fandom and to be part of this community. And I know a lot of you guys are in the Fall Out Boy fandom, and, you know, we all, like, can talk about things, like, and that's another thing too, is, like, I like being part of the fandom where you could go on, like, the Fall Out Boy Reddit page, different Fall Out Boy videos, Twitter, different Fall Out Boy fan accounts on Twitter. But it's like when you have that one troll, like in the Reddit account or whatever, like every once in a while there'll be a troll in there, and it just fires up everybody. And it's like, and then they go on to say, well, I knew I was going to get dislikes because the fan base is so hostile. I don't know why I'm in the fan base. It's like, you just said something to get everybody to jump on you, and then you're like, oh, well, it's just the fandom. Like, honestly, that's one of the things that bothers me so much, is those kind of people. The people that bait the fan base, and then when the fan base reacts, they're like, see, the Fall Out Boy fan base is just insane and crazy. It's not like that all the time. It's not like, you know, and you have to put it in perspective too, that a lot of these fan bases are young kids. So when you're that young, you don't really, not that you don't know, but you don't really have the mental capacity to handle when the thing you love the most is getting hated on. Like, think of it like this. Like, for a lot of these kids, they think of this band almost like a significant other. And so when your significant other is getting like just shit on, what are you going to do? You're going to fight back. You know, like that's kind of the same. It's almost that same like mental thing. Like there's actually a study. I'll post a link to the study. But you know, people who become obsessed over things, you know, there's a part in their brain that actually like sets off the same kind of signals and hormone as when you fall in love. So it's very, very similar, you know. So when your favorite band or your favorite artist is getting shit on by people and you have that like that inner like human emotion to fight back, and that's, I mean, you shouldn't be upset about it, but you just need to learn to control it. And that's what I've done. But overall, I am proud to be in the Fall Out Boy fan base. I'm proud to be part of the fandom. I am 24 years old, so a lot of people would be like, you're freaking old to be in the Fall Out Boy fandom. But I don't care. Honestly, I love them, and I'm not gonna like kiss ass with everybody who hates them. You know, I'm my own person. If they don't like me because I'm in the Fall Out Boy fan base, then whatever. Like the only reason I made this channel is to connect with other fans. Doesn't matter how old you are. Like I know a lot of my subscribers are pretty young, and we've had conversations on private messaging and things like that. Like I don't care how old you are. I don't look down upon you if you're, you know, 14, 13, you know, 12. I don't care. You know, we have a similar interest. We have a similar passion. And it's also fun to find people my own age, you know, because then we can meet up at shows, you know, get a drink before the show. You know, Shay, Courtney, and Jordan, we all met through the Fall Out Boy fandom, and we're like such great friends. And, you know, I'm just thankful that this, you know, Fall Out Boy has been able to bring people together. And, you know, it's not just Fall Out Boy, it's any fan base in general, but this is just like what I know. But it's not something to feel ashamed of, and it's not something that you need to apologize for. Be proud, okay? Be proud of being, you know, passionate. Be proud to have a passion for something. I think this video is just kind of trying to explain maybe to people who don't understand fandoms, or just to like put our minds at ease that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with being in a fandom. You know, people who look down on fandoms, you know, that's their opinion. They're completely valid. They can, you know, do whatever. But just if you're in one, you start to feel bad about it, don't. Honestly, don't. It's not a bad thing. You don't have to feel self-conscious about being in a fandom. You like, if you see comments on Twitter from people you look up to, just know that's just their opinion. You don't, I mean, honestly, like, it doesn't matter what they say. It really doesn't. Like, all that matters is like how you feel. And if your favorite thing in the world is a certain band or an artist, and you love going to concerts, and it just puts life into your soul, why would you care what, you know, some random like YouTubers or random people think? It really doesn't matter. All that matters is how you feel about it. And I'm just sick of seeing, especially a lot of young kids, just get shit on by a bunch of random ass people just hating on them. Like, there's a difference between hating on the band and actually hating on people. You can hate a song, you can hate an album, you know, that's fine, whatever. But it's like when you start hating on people who like the band, if they've done absolutely nothing wrong, that's worse than being a rabid fan. That's just being an asshole. Guys, but that's going to be it for this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about fan bases. I don't think the comment section is going to get like bad or anything like that, but I'll just, you know, like always, just try and keep it respectful. Maybe we can get a conversation going. If people disagree with me, like, I'm totally willing to talk to people, you know. And this, like, this video isn't meant to like single out anybody. Honestly, it's just something I've noticed. It's not even the people who make videos about hating fandoms. That honestly, I watch those videos. They have some points. I, you know, agree with some of the points. This is just about people, just the side people that just go, I hate the Fall Out Boy fandom. Like, I showed you a bunch of comments that people say. It's so mean. And, you know, I understand where they're coming from, but it doesn't have to be like that. You know, honestly, if people just stop being mean to each other on the internet, like, on both sides, I just think it would be a much easier, you know, more enjoyable place to be for everybody. So, all right, guys. Well, I really hope you're having a good weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.